Hey guys, Umar here. I'm here to give a short tutorial for abstract trees for architectural ideations and presentations. Now, we all know how, well, we've seen quite a lot of tutorials for, drawing quite nice realistic trees. They're all very beautiful, but I'm doing a tutorial that's specifically for architectural ideation and sometimes maybe even presentations, because in architecture, when we draw trees, it's meant to liven up the drawing and most importantly kind of bring bring the environment to life for the design of the buildings. But say for example, if you draw something very nice, a nice building, and then you also draw, well, I don't know, maybe you're a better artist at drawing trees and stuff, or I don't know. And there's the fear that the environment might take away from the building. Instead of making your building alive, it takes the life out of your building. So yeah, so I'll be trying to specify simpler, more abstract looking trees for the purpose of architectural presentations and ideation. It's something that is quite commonly used actually by a lot of architecture students and practitioners as well. So for example, you see this tree that I'm drawing here. This is kind of based on a realistic looking tree, the kind of trees that you would do, for an artistic drawing, a realistic drawing. But of course, if you have a nicer looking tree like this, and then you just have your design next to it, it might fade away a bit. You might not get the effect that you want for your building. So of course you want to make sure that you want to have trees that just liven up the surroundings but not take away too much from your own design. So I'm going to talk about and show three types of abstract trees that I like to do. Now there's this kind where it's the most realistic looking tree, but it's just an outline of it. This is the first type that I'm going to try and do, just drawing simple icons for it. The second type to do is the simplest, most fastest way of drawing trees is the popsicle tree. And the third type that I'm going to show is this one that's kind of a semicircle and it's just comprised of a lot of branches. So okay, on to the first type. For the first type of tree is a little bit it does take a little bit of time. You kind of have to structure the trees around a bit. You have to compose it a little bit, if you will, and you also have to compose how it looks. Usually you want to use like really random strokes, and you compose each tree that you want to do. And you can also think about branches as well, how the branch might also go into the trees, and little bits that just poke out, just to make it look a little bit more realistic in outline. So first, this is just a rough outline drawing of the trees. Okay, maybe something like that. Ground line. I'm using an Artline 0.2 pen here, and then you just follow the outline of your original sketch, and you can ignore groups, the individual trees. You're just purely drawing their outline. And sometimes you can deviate, create shadows, well, not really create shadows, just create little cutouts like that to give it a certain dimensionality, give it a more 3D sense. So the great advantage of drawing out the trees first in pencil and then outlining them is that you'll get to sort of layer it a bit. Like for instance, where the intersection between one tree and another, it might create a little hole like that, so that people can still people can still differentiate that these are different individual trees. Even though they only see the outline of all of the trees, they can still sort of see certain individual traits. And this one is quite nice. Doesn't take too much time, and because of its simplicity and abstractness, any building, any design next to it, the building will pop out, and this will just be like will just make the environment a little bit more alive. It won't take away from it. Now the second kind, the popsicle tree. This one is my favorite for really rough ideation, you know, in the beginning, because they're just so incredibly simple. You just draw a bunch of popsicles. I mean, you can have ideas on the shape. You can vary the shape, vary the size, do different layers. And again, they are just super simple to do. You can layer it a bit. This one goes behind, this one goes in the front, this one goes behind like that. And you know, you can even shade it a little bit just to give it more life. And yeah, you can imagine that, you know, if there's a building around it, the building will definitely stand out a bit more. And finally is the branch tree. Now for that one, they're also very simple to do. You just draw out a few semicircles wherever you may, slightly compose them a bit, and you have the stalk there. For this one, I'd use a slightly thicker pen, because you're just really drawing the branches, not the outline. So you can have a bit more body to the line weight. So you have, basically you just draw one stalk, and then you continue like that, 1, 2 branch. You make a few large branches like that, and then you break those few large branches to create smaller branches like that. And then you just do that for all the others as well. Stalk. This one is great for layering over, you know, other trees, because it makes it look quite nice, quite dynamic. This one can be done quite quickly as well, or you know, if you want to spend a bit more time on it, you can also add some foliage. Actually, usually I like to use a pencil to add the foliage, like so. Just really simple foliage. You can also use colored pencils as well, like very light green, and you just layer it on top like that. And you do the same for the others. So okay, and that's it. I mean, you can certainly imagine how buildings would look around it. These are really fast, really simple trees that can be used to help liven up your concept sketches when you want to meet your lecturer for crit, your tutor, whatever. So alright, that's it guys. So the 3 types of abstract trees that I like to use for architectural ideations and maybe presentations. So if you like this video, please like or comment for suggestions on how to make it better, and you can even follow us on Facebook and Instagram, links are below. So I'm Umar, and this is a small tutorial for Architecture Daily Sketches. Thank you so much.